Alex dropped out.
Oh, there we go.
That's probably because you put video on, which has screwed his Is that ready for R? Which ready for
I
R?
will beat you in the face, Nick.
You'd struggle
Is that
from
dark
down
space
there.
for infra?
Yeah, it was Dark Space for Infra.
I don't have her.
You don't have her? Oh.
I've got
It's
the
okay,
other.
it's okay.
I've got the
It's
other.
okay.
I don't do.
Hang on.
I don't.
Let me just put this camera on again for a second. So. You see that box there, Mike? You see that box there?
God damn it, Nick. Just damn it.
This box right here.
Is that for the boat match?
Yeah, it's got something in it. I'm not
Oh
sure.
my goddamn Relic Knights.
I gathered that.
I mean, do you know what this is, Kurt?
Oh yeah, it's the no star
I
box.
think I should throw it in the bin.
I'm not a big fan of no.
It's alright. I've also got these. These aren't mics.
I've got some of those. I've got that one.
Do you want it? What about this one?
Ooh. I don't play no. So I've got room for R. Just not start dark space. I've got that. Yeah, I've got that.
Okay. You want another one of these?
To whom do they belong to?
The one who's not in the call.
Oh.
Oh, he's not in the call, but he's messaging me on Google Plus. Going, help me! I am terrible at the internet.
In that accent. Is that a Cheshire accent? That's uncanny.
Tech support.
And the internet escapes me. I can't do it.
So, Mike, did you see the news today?
Which one?
Apparently, if Scotland goes independent tomorrow, Warmley becomes the centre of UK.
Oh, joy! That's a new centre of the UK, potentially.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
It's okay. You moved away too.
Yes,
Also, someone's
I moved away.
echoing, and I can't figure out who it is. I
Somebody's
think
not got a speaker on, which would be probably Mike.
And I'll
You've got speakers
turn
on,
the
Mike.
microphone. Pardon?
What?
I'll turn this down. How's that now?
No, I don't want tea, mother. We shouldn't have any more of that, should we?
Let's see what Alex is doing. Can he do the call and stay in?
Alex.
surely he's breaking the internet because that's what Alex does.
Give me on his phone again.
Oh, does he draw it on his phone? Is that how he does things? His computer is crap, so he uses his phone.
I know he's got a decent computer now.
He's got a decent computer. Wow.
Yeah, you don't listen to the fucking podcast here. Fuck you.
Yeah, where Alex gave it.
Yeah, you didn't cut that out. You fuck ass.
I put it out the podcast.
Not enough. I've had several people say, I know where that came from.
Might be from the YouTube version.
Don't think so. Who's got the speaker on? Mike, have you got a speaker on?
I think so, because it's only me and you that are echoing.
Excellent.
Hang on. Right, I'm going to mute my microphone for a second. You see if there's still an echo.
Echo, echo, echo.
The echo is gone.
Echo, echo.
The echo is definitely gone.
Back again?
Yes.
Yes.
Does everyone hear me?
Oh, Alex!
We wish we
I'm
could.
sitting very quiet, Alex.
Very quiet.
So I've got a Sophia Drake in my hand as well.
Oh, Alex, you missed me showing Mike the box. I threw everything in the bin.
You missed Nick flashing his. I can't think of an innuendo. Actually, I fail. I can't think of an appropriate one.
I was in training at work today, and we are talking about NIBs, otherwise known as nibs. Someone came out with a great phrase of "your nibs out."
Excellent.
How's the echo now?
Still echoing.
Better though.
Can't really be. The sound is low as it goes. The microphone isn't in a position where it should be able to hear the speakers.
It's a good microphone then, isn't it?
Is it a single direction microphone or is it Omni?
It's directional.
It's multi-directional.
It's aimed at In fact, it is actually excluding more of the sound than it would have been when I was back at home.
Wow, that's impressive.
You'll just have to live with the echo, I'm afraid.
Won't it be us? It'll be
Actually,
the listening audience.
I'll just have a listen on YouTube and see how it is.
Is
could
Adam
live
listening on
check the
YouTube?
audio, no?
Is Adam listening on YouTube? Let's have a look.
I don't know or care.
How's my volume now?
Perfect.
Louder.
Oh, no, wait, we can hear you. Hang on, let me take that back.
Yeah, that's working perfectly on the YouTubes.
Oh, is that what we could hear?
Yeah.
Ah.
If you go to youtube.com/Mr. Chom, you'll see an Elite Cadre 54 link, and people can
Like
listen to it
everybody
there.
else on the internet doesn't even just ignore that link.
You're right.
54.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
that's
is-
what people
this-
talk about. I just nearly dropped her little knife, and I actually see exactly what people mean about it falling out of the bag.
What's this?
Sophia Drake.
Who is?
Oh, fuck's sake, man.
He doesn't have his models. He doesn't know.
Oh. The uber
Yeah, well,
solo
when some
character.
Burke goes off to Scotland with them,
The,
It's alright, you abandoned the Midlands too. You wouldn't have been much use there.
the uber.
yeah, but the thing is that I might have had a chance of getting them because I'm going back there this weekend.
What, Scotland?
Whatever
Will you out
possession
now?
you go to the
Will you
Midlands
out?
this weekend.
Well, I'm stopping off on the way to Nationals.
I actually realised, Mike, if you want them a little bit earlier, I could try and bring them to Distant Worlds.
Sweet mother of God, I'm not lugging those bastards around London.
They're plastic. They don't weigh anything. What?
They really don't weigh anything.
Yeah,
The
but
box is
they're
only heavy
bulky as
because there's
fuck.
so much in it.
Also, I'm not sitting in the Albert Hall with a box that big.
Good point.
Try not to open it.
It's like that. It's like that time when I went to Distant Worlds and saw a copy of Dust Tactics. Not Dust. It was Just Tactics.
Yeah,
The
it's
board
just
game.
the big
I
game.
was severely tempted to buy the original version of that, but then I realised I'd have to sit in the Albert Hall with a full copy of Dust, which is about 4 foot tall.
It is.
Lovely looking game.
Yeah, I've never played it. I've seen it. It does look nice.
Nice models, whole weird World War II vibe going on.
No tits in it, though.
Well, no.
Just saying.
So how are you getting on with plastic, Kurt? I've heard so many people bitching about it, and obviously I don't really care because I'm not a pro painter or anything like that.
It's alright. It's alright. I'm looking at. I just opened this one. This one does look worse than most of the Black Diamonds. Cersei, I found, was bad.
Okay.
Cersei was hard work. But now I'm finding that the Black Diamonds.
You know, start the cast and then you natter about this.
I thought you edit it all back in one
No,
day.
no, we do one stream. We
Oh,
don't do fucking about anymore. Professionalism, man.
what's
Nobody's
professional?
calling anyone a cunt either, except maybe.
And Alex is muted. for some reason.
And Mike can't beep it out when you do.
Don't need to because
I need
we're
to.
explicit.
Oh,
He
he's
does
here.
bleep it out. If you say esports athlete, he bleeps that out.
Yeah.
Especially if you say Chris Cawthorne is an esports athlete, that always gets beeped out.
We could go back to the Twitter argument for team sports.
What, transgender sports? I mean, table sports.
Transgender sports, nice.
I'm sorry, when he said T-sports, I'm like, no, that's clearly transgender. I'm sorry.
So Alex has put his mic on and is now trying to shove it up his bottom.
No, that's me repositioning my mic stand.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't sure if you'd gone for a run or
What, Mike's gone for a run?
no, Alex.
Sorry, that was a harsh joke. I don't usually make it Mike's expense.
Right, should we get started then?
Yes.
Hello and welcome to Elite Cadre, the podcast that doesn't take itself too seriously. I'm Mike.
Silence is supposed to be Alex, but he's not here.
I'm
I'm
muted.
Kurt.
I'm into
You're, you're muting. Excellent.
What are you eating? You haven't been taking recipes from Kev, have you?
No, definitely not.
No, definitely not. That's what he's saying. He hasn't got that in his mouth. Anyway, moving on. We have a guest host that some of you, I don't know. Who are you?
Some weird guy who did a podcast once.
With a big
Say
hair.
goodbye, Nick.
He's an idiot previously in residence, let's face it.
Bye, Nick.
It's okay. I might be like in a foreign country as of tomorrow.
Yes, well, quite.
You have been for quite some time. I know, that was Wales.
Calling us all the way from Scotland.
Woo!
Stop him.
Hello.
Well, to be fair, given that the recording base of the podcast has moved very far down south as well, it's all getting a bit awkward.
What gets me with Scotland at the moment? Why don't the Tories play the Zamo track from Grange Hill? I've just thought. I can't believe I didn't think of it before. Why did I not think of that before? They did one as well.
Should we not get involved in the politics of this? Because it's really awkward.
It's the right day for it, even though people won't be listening on the right day.
No, that's
Not do that.
I can honestly tell you, given that National Masters is this weekend, they will not be listening to this on the right day. Or even close.
National Masters this weekend. Where is it?
That's in Stockport.
When you listen to this, you
I
should
might need
spoil
a-
it for us on Twitter and tell us who won, because we don't know at this point.
I might need somewhere to stay. Do you think National Masters will take me?
You'll become a refugee from your new adopted homeland.
I might have to.
A sleeping bag on the floor of the Northwest Gaming Centre. Fantastic.
I'm sure Darren would be quite happy with that. Right, anyway, we've kind of, well, I would say we've drafted you in, but you kind of just appeared out of nowhere to talk to us about this fantastic new thing that's been delivered.
I think it's called We're Recording Not on a Monday. That's what it's called.
Yeah, you're
That's
recording
true.
that on a Monday. That is 90% of the reason I reappeared.
Well, just because you've moved to this new life and become busy on a Monday.
I was busy on a Monday back in the old life too. Mondays are just bad days.
Well, yes, Garfield.
Tell me why.
Tell me why. Nice. Sorry.
So, okay, well, which one of you wants to evangelise about Relic Knights first?
Oh, I thought you were going to be vague and I could jump in about pigs. Maximus is amazing. Sorry. That's where I wanted to go. But no. Psycho pigs for later. So this is the second day in a row that I've done a podcast about Relic Knights. Yay!
Have you been whoring yourself out to more podcasts again?
Yeah, first time in ages. And it was more press ganged into than whoring myself out-ish. There wasn't much resistance.
He hasn't been a proper pod whore in a very long time.
It might happen on Friday, Thursday as well. It might happen tomorrow as well.
He's slipping. He's
I know,
tapped that
but
tape, and now he's back
I'm
in.
aiming for 3 times this week. We'll see what happens.
Not quite up to the levels of twice nightly Whiteley, but there we go.
No, what? That was horrible. Yeah, so Relic Knights, it's a thing. It's real and it's appeared in the flesh, and it isn't just some kind of vapor figures. I don't know.
Well, do you want to start off by telling the boys and girls what Relic Knights is? Because it has been a while since that
A long
Kickstarter
time
fund.
ago, before some of you were born, there
It's
was
a
a
myth, is what
Kickstarter.
Relic Knights is.
In the original days of Elite Cadre, 2 years ago,
There
because I had
was
to go
a
through-
Kickstarter.
there was a Kickstarter that we all got very excited for.
There.
A company, Cool Mini or Not, at Soda Pop are the ones who make the game, right?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's both.
Soda Pop teamed with another company, Cool Mini or Not, to bring us this fantastic anime game. Boobs.
Indeed. Boobs, indeed. And it did have boobs. It does have boobs. It's an important thing to mention, boobs. Yeah, so we all got very excited and all paired up in various ways and thought, we'll buy lots, it'll be amazing, I'll buy more than one faction so other people can play, and then we all forgot about it, went to sleep. Goldilocks ate all the porridge, any number of other fairy tale inserts at that point as well. A forest grew and grew and grew, and to the walls became word all around. I like that one.
Does anyone know where he's going with this?
I don't, I'm just letting him go. This is really hilarious.
I have to read it. I read this to my children, but I used to read it as a child as well. Yeah. So and then there was a convention, a little-known convention that I turned up at, and no other bloody bugger did, pretty much, where a strange gentleman with a beard suddenly said, "I've got shiny things for you," and proceeded to throw a box of figures that vaguely recalled somewhere seeing before. And lo, it was on that day that Chris Cawthorne gave me 2 factions of Relic Knights and a big heavy rulebook and holiday tokens and shiny things.
Chris Cawthorne has a beard now?
Very nice.
Do you not have Facebook at all?
What's Facebook?
Nick is vaguely aware of the internet.
There were pictures of him running in his beard and stuff and looking like he was going to die fairly recently.
Ah, okay.
He does
But
look at least 85% more rugged.
He really does, but he doesn't sound it when he talks. Sorry, Chris. Except when he adopts his original accent, in which case you get a bit scared. Yeah. So I got Relic Knights, and yeah, they had a game of it, and I was still a bit it was a stupid game that I fucking got involved with 2 years ago. So I didn't touch it for at least a few days until I got home. And then covered my living room in it and got very overexcited. Overexcited to the extent that I've already bought a third faction.
You bought a third faction.
Yeah,
I am actually looking at the paladins and umming and ahhing over buying some of the unique pieces, because I didn't realise back when we did it some of the rules regarding the prismatics and how you can only take unique models and stuff like that. Which I think
none of us
changed
did.
after we saw the first incarnation of the rulebook, so that's probably why.
Yeah, we didn't know anything then. We just saw shiny things and some vague descriptions of how it's going to play, and none of it really meant anything.
Yeah, well, we tried to run a test game quite a while
The description
ago.
most of us heard was on boosted damage.
No, that didn't exist then.
Wow, boosted damage. Does it still exist?
Yep. John Webb had, I can't remember his name, but the guy from Soda Pop on there.
Yeah, but does it still exist? Is what
No,
Nick asked you. You said yes.
but does boosted damage still exist?
No.
Oh, God only knows. I think it transitioned into Grumpy Gamers, which transitioned into Fools Daily.
Okay.
I've never been on Fool's Daily. I'd like to say at this juncture.
Well, if you've not listened to Fools Daily, there is a good amount of content on there, a decent and building archive of 10 to 20 minute podcasts.
25 minutes last night.
Depends when it gets edited down to. But it's got a very good range of
Porn.
content to go through.
Or about Malifaux, or are they decided onto other things now?
Other things, all sorts.
No, it's
Okay.
ones I've heard discussed: board games, epic, historicals.
Fair enough.
Just anything. There's even an episode on Botswana in there.
I need to listen to that. That's an awesome game.
Very nice.
I have been in the World
Having now
Championship
heard the
twice.
rules, I'm like, yes, I vaguely remember. I vaguely know that game from somewhere else.
Well, the Welsh
It's been
Open.
reprinted 7 times with different names.
Zebras are OP.
They are OP. Absolutely fine. They really
Zebras are
are.
OP.
So yeah, the Welsh Open is where the annual World Championship is usually held.
But we're talking about Relic Knights, or at least
So-
you are.
So Kurt has 3 factions. I have 2 factions, and there's 4 more factions in a box behind me, and I have no idea who they belong to. If anyone would like to give them a home, please contact me.
I'm holding a scalpel at the moment, Nick. I will not hold back from using it on you.
It's a long way though.
It's a very long way for you to throw that scalpel.
I'm willing to travel.
He can threaten a lot of people from up there quite happily.
Willing to travel, then come pick the bloody things up.
Oh, not that much.
So, much like Kurt, I have my box, and the box just sat in the living room for a few days, and then I opened it up and had a little read of the rule book, and before I know it, every box of mine was open, and the figures are all glued together, and they're on my desk looking very sad at the moment, waiting.
I got some paint on mine.
I need to get some paint on mine. So the guys up here who have bought into Relic Knights have all agreed that they're only going to play painted games. So, yeah, I need to paint.
They're only going to play a brand new game that nobody's.
Only going to play painted. So we're going to start like small, just the starter box battles, and then build up, add more models in
27
as we go.
points, whatever it is.
So yeah, just like you would do in a journeyman league or anything like that.
I quite like 35,
Like a
but I haven't got as
hardcore
far as...
Journeyman League.
So yeah, but everything painted. So I need to get some paint on so I
All
can
my
have
stuff
a
is
limit
sprayed
game.
now, just so we can tell it apart. I primed it different colours so we can tell it apart. So Cersei's all bright red.
So you did your Cersei. Did you get the special candy and cola?
Yeah,
Did you put them on the same base?
yeah,
Yeah, so did I.
yeah. They look
It looks
awesome.
really cool like that.
They just look like some Chun-Li and Mini Ken next to her. It's
Come on.
I
awesome.
was just like, why are they supposed to be on
Have you
separate
been doing
bases?
anything interesting recently at all?
Sorry.
Sorry, I was going to leave you two lovebirds to talk amongst yourselves.
So,
But again-
okay.
It's an interesting topic, Alex. I know you wouldn't know what that means, but it's interesting.
So
It's fun.
you told us that you have your pile of models and you've read the rule book. So what's the game system actually like?
Go on.
Okay.
You played the game, Kurt. Take it away.
So I seem to be some kind of resident expert now because I've had half a dozen games, and that somehow makes me some guru.
It's okay. I've read the rule
It's
book,
half a
so
dozen
according
games
to
more
the
than anyone else has had.
It
according
seems
to the
be the way.
Facebook group, I'm
seems to
the
be-
judge.
yeah.
So
It is. What is the game like? It is a very different game to any other tabletop that I've played. I'm told it probably bears most resemblance in mechanics to Malifaux, although I've never really took to Malifaux, and I really like this. When you have your turn, you get a single model or squad to activate. That's your lot. It's the other person's go. And by activate, I mean move, use an ability, and then usually move again unless something's stopping you. It's very fast, so you don't have very much downtime. You're always almost always you'll go. And there are reactions, not in a kind of infinity, you're dead reactions, but in a defensive, dodge, dive out the way, redirect damage kind of reactions. Sorry, who's that?
That was me laughing at the infinity, you're dead stuff.
Well,
It is.
It does feel like a mashup. Like, just reading the rules, not having actually played it, it does feel like a mashup of sort of Infinity and Malifaux with, I don't know, a splash of something else in there.
They definitely, it has a kind of, you can't quite say where it comes from, but I almost want to say a hint of War Machine, but it's not. But it feels that way.
It feels like the objective system's been ripped straight from Bushido in some ways. So maybe a bit of Bushido.
I don't know how Bushido objectives work. I'm sure I've been told.
What's a Bushido? Someone's a Bushido?
I'm sure Alex has explained it before, but I don't think I was listening. I was probably talking.
The objectives in Bushido are very interactive. You're dealing with them on literally almost every turn that you're activating, and it feels the same way in Relic Knights.
Yeah.
Like, the objectives are never passive things that just sit in the background. You're always aiming to try and go grab them or take someone off them or whatever.
True, the objectives and scenarios are required. You can't do a version of this game where you just try and kill each other. It doesn't function. Even the first game I played, having read through the rules a couple of times, went, right, we are doing the objective. Because the big tokens come in the box. The starter box comes with a playmat for your cards to guide you through your sort of turns and activations, and it comes with the tokens to be your 3 objectives, your primary and 2 secondary, and tokens to signify either things you have to take or place on objectives, or to be the center of AoEs that you place around the table that do all sorts of things that I haven't really come across before. So they're not just necessarily that's all fire, you're dead if you walk in there. They are that makes you better, that makes you worse, that buffs, it hurts the enemies but doesn't hurt you, and it's all sorts of things. It's really good. Really quite the variety is huge. I suppose the biggest difference to a lot of other games is there are no sort of basic attack. There's no kind of
I shoot you or I hit you.
Yeah.
You have to, or everything is magic or
everything is
requiring
an ability
a cost.
that you have to generate with your hand of cards. So there's no dice. There's no rolling to hit or having a score in your hand to hit. You have ability that you trigger and it hits unless the opponent can guard against it or redirect it or heal the damage as it's delivered. So it's and having the right cards in your hand and a hand of usually 5 cards is challenging.
Yeah, well, you've got things like the ability to hold cards and generate 2 onto certain models, so they can take a bad card from your hand and actually save it for later and turn it into something that would be good.
Yeah, or you can store Esper. You can store the
Yeah.
magical power directly into the card of the model.
So you can go above. If you don't need it now, you can use it later on when you will need it. And it like, say you're playing Cersei. Cersei's a very green color. They like their green cards. You're sitting with a bunch of red in hand. It's like, well, I really don't have a use for this red. So if I store it all now, because I'm not going to get completely screwed, you can then spend it later on as green and stuff like that. So
yeah, effectively, yeah, it's cool. I like it a lot. And you have these kind of the knights, which they're not unlike. I suppose that's the similarity. They're a bit like warcasters in the sense that you have one and they lead the army and they're the key cornerstone of your army. But they or your cadre. Oh, hang on,
they're called cadres. I did like that.
Wonder where they got that inspiration for that name from. Anyway, yeah. They lead the army, and they are like masters of the Esper ability, and then they have ciphers, which are kind of manifestations of their power, which is a kind of an odd kind of almost Golden Compass, Northern Lights kind of thing going on. And they're most insane. They don't really generally attack things directly, but they channel some things, and they can gain you more Esper and transfer Esper around, which is quite entertaining.
Sounds a little bit like the Malifaux idea of masters and totems, to be honest.
I don't know how they work, but
Very similar to what you just said.
Okay.
Sort of, but like totems can be attacked by normal things. The whole idea of a cipher is that it's something that it's a separate layer on top of the game. Most models can't actually interact with the Esper.
It's almost like a
So,
glorified token more than actually a model.
yeah,
With a few exceptions. So Ekis in Doctrine is a kind of an exception.
Yeah.
His questing knight is a little girl, looks a lot like Red Riding Hood, Delphine, and her cipher, which is weird because even the Fluffy seems to be older than her, which I can't quite grasp, but he is a big wolf, and her main offensive ability is Sick'em, and it basically causes her to make a psychic attack against something that Ekis is in base-to-base contact with. So it's a lot like her telling him to bite them, and it's interesting. It's
it is
entertaining.
interesting. One thing the game definitely is like flavoursome. Each what are they called?
Faction.
Each faction, yeah. Each faction is very unique and that keeps its flavour throughout the whole thing. So, as you said, you've got the Doctrine, which is a group of mages. Some of them in a school, some of them aren't. Some of them are the guys who run the school. I don't quite know how the girl fits in. I've
Some of
not
them
read the plot yet.
aren't.
Sorry?
Some of them are
aren't.
graduates, like that.
Oh, I
They're
thought
graduates of the school.
so. Okay.
And then you've got Cersei, which sounds like both me and Kurt are definitely interested in, which are the speed racers.
They are
So-
kind of my third faction, really, in the sense of
Are they?
Doctrine was the first one I went to, and I put Cersei in because they were kind of the and the second one, and I've gone for now. I would say my primary one is Black Diamond, and
Okay.
Doctrine is my second. But Doctrine every so often gets so much more attention. I do love Doctrine. Yeah, so
Fair enough.
Cersei I'm struggling with, but Cersei are odd in the fluff as well, because Cersei are they are a racing team, but they happen to have a knight, and they kind of get dragged into the conflict kind of by accident. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, the
gets
manga
tricks
has
into
a
it.
story in it, doesn't it? I'm not going to
Yeah.
spoil it 'cause I know that Alex has bought the manga specifically to read. So, but
I didn't buy it to read it. I bought it to own all the things. No, I did buy it to read. So.
fair enough. But the story is quite interesting with how Cersei sort of.
I haven't
becomes
read all the fluff yet. I've read some of it and getting there.
And then there's also the No, which are a bunch of big Japanese demon type things.
Yeah. What is that? No.
I'm not quite sure what they're doing. Like, I've not read their fluff yet either.
I think,
so-
I haven't read all their fluff, but the impression I get is they're basically trying to encourage the calamity and end the universe. But I'm
Yeah.
not sure that's true.
'Cause the whole overarching thing is something is going wrong, has destroyed loads of galaxies, and now it's come to this one, and the ciphers have sort of started manifesting. The knights have been created, and they're searching for a way to stop the void and the big dark space calamity, isn't it?
It is, but also alongside that, weird parallel universe versions of people have arrived. So you have dark space versions which work for different factions and have different kind of backstory than their original character, and you also have strange characters like Suspect 7 who has nicked some device and has started off to other universes to go and get her parallel selves to come and work with her on contracts. She's like
Wow.
she's like an assassin, and you have her as a squad, but there's only one of her, but you have a unit.
Yeah,
She's great. I like her.
she is fantastic.
Okay, my brain just kind of took out there.
It's great. I like Suspect 7 is awesome.
Alex, he's out. Yes.
Yeah.
They're really hard to kill as well. They're awesome.
You've got some Suspect 7, I believe, Alex, in your Black Diamond.
Yeah, I still have all the black diamonds.
You've also got the Prismatic and the Void leaders. So
Wow, I didn't even think anybody got those. Wow.
I've got those. I got the Prismatic ones. And the idea is you can take the Knight as the Prismatic, and she can lead a bunch of have to be named characters from the other factions. They can't take any regular units and things. She can only lead a squad of sort of special characters, and they're like your Stargate SG-1 going
That's
off.
that's
the front
Candy, isn't
lines.
it?
Yeah, the Candy for the Prismatic side. Yeah. So and
There's Candy. Then there's the one that looks like it's from Evangelion.
Yeah, very.
Herald? Is it Herald for the Void side?
Something like that.
It's all right.
Yeah. So,
That's not expertise.
but I love the fact they can only lead named characters. It's like, yeah, that's not going to go bad.
You're not. You're too common, I'm afraid. Yes.
Need no red shirts in this army. No
Exactly.
one's going to die.
Much. Yeah, I'm enthralled with it in general. It's It's awesome. I still haven't really got into the book. I have read quite a lot of the book, but not all of it. Yeah, and there's a faction of pirates as well, called the Star Nebula Corsairs, and that I know that I am this weird person who doesn't think talk like a pirate day is amazing. I don't get it. So therefore, an army of pirate. I know I like Privateer Press. I don't really like the pirate obsession even there, to be honest. I don't talk about it very much because it's not very fashionable. But and then what we haven't talked about are the Shattered Sword, the
Paladins, yeah.
I like how you've left the two factions not important until last.
Both Mike's factions, yeah.
Podpers know it all. We're the space police fucking paladins. Oh yeah, they look lovely.
They are lovely.
Oh,
What are you talking about? The models for the Paladins are actually fantastic. Sebastian's Knight is one of the best models I've seen.
It's huge as well.
It is fucking
It's
huge.
the biggest one by. Well, okay, no, he's got the bigger models, but it's just huge.
Yeah. And then, just to top it all off, they put all of the main characters into Super Dungeon Explorer. So there's Super Dungeon Explorer versions of them all, where their potions are their ciphers, which I thought was quite hilarious.
Oh, cool.
I would have had those the Super Dungeon Explorer versions coming to me, but I just couldn't afford them at the time of the Kickstarter. So
I think they're releasing them again, I think, by the sounds of something.
Yeah, everything for Super Dungeon Explorer is being put on general release eventually.
Yeah.
So
they're
but I
quite cool
the
models.
Everything box coming up at some point.
They are quite cool models, and I do quite like them. The interesting one was the No one. They couldn't find a way to shoehorn the No guy in as a playable character, so they made him a mini boss, and he is fucking hard as nails. He's harder than some of the end bosses.
I was going to say that may well change with the new version of Super Dungeon Explorer because all the mini bosses are becoming playable heroes.
Oh, no, I didn't know
You've
that.
got Candy in as a mini boss and things like that as well, haven't you?
Yeah. When you buy the
Candy, Dark Space Candy. You've got Candy as a hero, and you've got Candy as a Dark Space mini boss or something like that, haven't you?
Yeah, when you buy the $50 pack of heroes, you also got the cards to make them mini bosses.
What was that from the Forgotten Kings Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Which I look forward to in
that
3
one.
years.
I'm still holding out for Christmas.
I hope it's Christmas, but
Ask me in the new year if I care if it turns up ever then afterwards.
So,
it'll be a nice present.
yes.
That's the thing. It ceases to become something that you kind of invest in, but eventually it becomes a present to yourself in the future.
So Relic Knights is very cool, and I'm looking forward to playing some more of it. I've got my deck sleeved in front of me, and I'm shuffling it as we talk.
The only thing I'd ever sleeved before this was War Machine, obviously, because you have to put hard sleeves or Stormcast sleeve on your War Machine cards, and I bought hard sleeves. And this, I had bought deck protectors for High Command, which I immediately pilfered and protected everything in Relic Knights.
You can probably sleeve your sleeves a 42 card deck, I think. The main deck, so that's reasonably easy to buy a 50 pack and sleeve, and then the stuff for your faction, because for some reason everything's like when you get the abilities and then the what's it called? Where there's the main card and then there's the ability card. Rather than having them back onto each other, they've printed them as two separate cards for some reason.
No,
so
I
even as well, just leave it everything so you can have it all in front of you.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And I like. Well, I don't like is I don't know what to get. Somebody was talking about on Twitter that you can get bigger sleeves for the double size knight.
You can for the knights they've got big A5.
No, that's too big.
Is it slightly too big? There's some Fantasy Flights board game card sleeves that exist, and you can pick those up. They fit perfectly for it.
So I bought red, amber, and green sleeves for High Command for the different phases of the game, and they fit. But I was like, I've got green ones for Cersei. I've got red ones for yellow ones for Doctrine. And I had black ones for everything else, which is lovely for Black Diamond. I was like, this is all lovely. I've got different coloured cards. It's awesome. Oh, I'm very sad. I bought the deck boxes as well. They arrived today.
The finish on everything's quite nice as well.
Yeah, I've got one shot.
I don't feel like they're going to get.
I've got one shot. I've got one shot deck box. I've got a what's it called a Kisser deck box, and I bought the Calico Kate just because I need something to put Cersei in as well. So I was like, there you go, that'll do.
So, Where do you get the deck boxes and protectors from then?
Well, protectors we just bought cheap. I bought cheap ones on eBay, but so I haven't bought the expensive.
You can't get the
Is it-
official.
I've got
official
I've got
ones?
official.
Protectors?
Sorry, Nick.
There's official protectors?
There is for things like there is for Black Diamond, there is for Doctrine, and there is for Corsairs.
Ah, didn't know that.
But I didn't buy those. I have bought deck boxes though with one shot for Black Diamond, and I've got a deck box for as I was saying before.
So where do you pick them up from?
eBay.
eBay?
eBay.
The Bay of E.
Do you know what the name of the company you bought them from off eBay was? Or
I can forward that to you. Yes. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I'll just find it.
I mean, if you just want some coloured sleeves, you can go to any local.
Oh, yeah, no, I know,
store and
yeah.
grab some. You could probably get some decent quality ones there.
I'm a semi-professional netrunner tournament player. I know my-
He's won stuff and everything.
yeah.
Didn't want any of it, but he's won stuff.
Yeah, I want stuff.
You won the nice noise, didn't you? God damn, I'm jealous of that.
Altmans and a playmat as well.
Noise is still my deck. Noise and Jinteki till the end.
Yeah. Oh, right, so they're not that expensive, are they? I've just found them.
Yeah, they're not. All right.
Alright.
So yeah, so it's an interesting game. I've learning all the time about the way the synergies work and how things fit together. You get linked to units and solos whereby you run one unit and the next one follows immediately, so you get double activation on your turn. It's all sorts of weirdness. It's great. Lots to learn.
So again, that brings it back into sort of Malifaux territory. You do get a lot of that there.
Good.
So, well, to be honest, a lot of game mechanics these days are just what works elsewhere. Okay, I'll take a little bit of that, add in a dash of my own stuff, see if it works.
That does have that feel, but it also feels that it's better than some of its parts, I'd say. Just from playing it, it's really, because when I don't know, I have this kind of feeling when we sort of think about games that combine things together, I start with a negative opinion, but this seems to work really well. I mean, and I was bitter about the weight. I almost didn't want to look at it at all, but I've really enjoyed it. It's really good, and it gets really fast as you sort of get both players get into it and get the hang of it. You start to get really fast. Very cinematic.
Sounds interesting.
We lick it.
Okay. So, yes, I just need to wait another... Actually, it's not too long now.
November
2
15th.
months.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Okay, well, I'll keep posting pictures on Twitter of my stuff as I'm painting it and things and stuff. That'll be helpful, definitely, won't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, both of you. I'll make sure I CC Alex in especially.
It's fine, man. Go
Because
for
you're
it.
Black Diamond, haven't you? So yeah, you'd love to see all my Black Diamond gradually getting painted.
Black Diamond and no.
It's
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. Alex will have to wait to get it from Mike as well, so he's going to have to wait even longer.
Me.
Excellent.
Probably, I imagine.
I'm not sure when he's planning to get these models off me, but, you know.
It'll take him
Imagine
as long to get them as it did from him to
First
paint.
time I see you have to pick them up.
Probably smell common.
You know the post exists and they don't weigh anything.
Size though, a lot of it goes on size nowadays.
Yeah, it's the size and the size of it, and with stuff like the rulebook and the extras in there, it does add up.
Dead tree editions of anything add to the weight and just kill postage costs.
Book's good though. It's all colour and everything, it's shiny, nice pictures.
See, I've got the mini rulebook in my work bag, and read it every now and again. The mini rulebook is really good.
I haven't. I need to wear my reading glasses, which I now have to wear, in order to actually read that at all.
Oh.
I am getting old. Optician's words were, "The honeymoon period on your short vision is over."
That optician.
Well, Kurt, I mean, you're catching up age-wise on Conrad.
He was younger than me as well, the optician. My children were present, so I couldn't actually retaliate in any way, shape, or form.
Right, anyway, any kind of final thoughts on Relic Knights? You kind of just want to get out there before we...
Yeah, it's more to follow, I would say, as we play more games and understand more about it. Thoroughly enjoying it. Want to get into bigger games. Haven't played anything of the kind of like the boosts. There are kind of an instrument mechanic that I haven't really got into yet, where you have these little power-ups almost that get put on the table at the start. I haven't experimented with those yet. That's the next thing.
Okay.
What size game do you reckon goes best then so far, Kurt?
I've only played 35 so far.
Okay.
Because I jumped straight. I thought I've got this big box of stuff. I don't want to just play the one box. I want to play a little bit, so give me some variation and swap things around. So I've played 35.
So I've heard 35 does seem to be the points to play, because when you get to 50, you just find you're using the same models over and over again. So you're using the same 3 ready slots over and over again, and then the rest of your army's just sort of sitting there either waiting to die and give points to the enemy, or waiting for one of your good models to die and then you to actually, I may as well use it.
I think the thing about going from 35 to 50 is not to have more, but to have better. So
Yeah, probably.
I think that's the trick. I think that's what because you only get so many activations, you only get one activation really. You're right. What you described is very likely to happen, and I found that even at 35, where I've got lots of cheap stuff, and I've gone, I'm not using that at all. Why am I not doing that? So really, you don't want more than sort of 4 activations. Even at 50 points, you want to go, I'm going to have the very big, expensive troops. I'm going to have that awesome solo that triggers them. I'm going to have this big minion, and then that's it with my knight. And you might leave the cipher sat there doing nothing, but that doesn't really matter.
Yeah. No. That sounds about right. Linked models are awesome.
They are. I found some Black Dragon on eBay as well. I bought some Black Dragons.
He's bought all the things.
I've bought all the shinies. I don't want the big thing though.
I don't quite know what's out in the UK, aside from the stuff we've obviously got Kickstarter.
Wayland is about the only place in the UK that tells you what's out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wayland, the only stockist currently then.
It seems to be that way. I might be wrong. We may.
Involved in the import.
Ah.
I think it came through their warehouses much in the same way that Battle Foam does.
Okay. Fair enough. But yeah, definitely worth a look in. There's some new models as well that we never saw in the Kickstarter that are in the books that are going to come out soon, which would be quite good to expand on and see where they go from here.
I've got one in my hand.
One of the new models that's not out yet?
One of those models that wasn't in the Kickstarter. I've got Sophia Drake in my hand.
Okay.
She wasn't in the Kickstarter.
I thought they weren't out yet. They must.
They are.
So where have you got Sophia Drake from then?
I bought her on Amazon. They had stock of 1. But Wayland have got them. So actually, they've got them now by the look of it. I haven't tried buying from them, but according to the list, they're online.
Okay.
Kurt's
Okay, she's the character
Black Dragon.
Black Dragon.
Yeah, she's awesome. I got very excited about her rules. That's why I bought some Black Dragons as well, because I misread it stuff. I thought it was the cheap infantry she activates. And then went, oh no, she's the heavy infantry. And she makes the heavy infantry better. And she puts an AoE down that adds 2 to all their stats.
But
Got it
yeah,
done.
there's nothing new to
35
Cersei. It made me sad.
And at 35 points, her, 1 full unit of Black Dragons and Magnus is exactly 35 points.
There's absolutely nothing new for Cersei. That made me really sad.
Oh no, we shouldn't know. Because you haven't even got the flipping starter box.
No, we haven't. You get a fake starter box that comes in a nice cardboard thing. Because Marie Claude isn't actually supposed to be the starter. Well, she is, but the Dark Space version we got as the starter box.
So what you've got. So if you go and buy a starter box, it's all new stuff.
Yeah.
So shut your
Which
window.
isn't in the book.
So it's all in the book. So shut your window. It's all there.
Is it?
Yeah, it's all in the book.
The only model that I don't own that's in the book is Astra Faust, who's a solo. That's it.
Okay, so see, I only bought
everything else for Cersei was in the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I didn't do everything. I did.
I can't play Hell Spells yet because we're waiting for the shipping of the midsections that they're missing from the box.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh, I built one with the alternate pose for Princess What's Her Face.
Oh yeah, that was quite cool. You get the regular pose stuff, and then you get some metal bits in the box as well, which are your action shots instead of your pin-up shots.
Yeah.
So there's certain models you can change over. Sorry, Mike, none of the paladins have action shots. They're all pin-up only.
See, I used Princess Malia's action shot to make one of the third bike go together. So I have got one full house barrels unit, and I went for the action shot for one shot because I preferred it.
Fair enough.
One shot looks much better, actually.
Well, I've got 2 boxes of Hell Spells, so I kind of can't just do the same thing.
No, so I've got 2 boxes, but I've only put one together.
Okay.
Yeah. It's cool. There's lots of variation, lots more coming, so we'll see. I didn't realise you had so much Cersei. I only got the basic stuff. I only got the standard Saviour box.
Everything with Cersei.
No, I didn't do that. So I haven't got what's the face, the new leader. I haven't got the pit crew. I haven't got.
Suicide Queen.
I've got her. I've got Suicide Queen.
So you haven't got Mary Claude?
I haven't got Mary Claude. I haven't got the pit crew. I haven't got the mech.
Oh, the mech is awesome.
So yeah, but all I have to do is buy a starter set, and I've got
which,
everything.
Which mech do you mean? Do you mean the mech where it's Betty and Lug together, or the girl wearing like the alien mech armor?
So I bought Betty and Lug separately. I've got that in my hand as well.
Okay,
but,
so the Royal Record, that is a pain of a model to put together. It comes in all the pieces, and you have to sit there and try and like figure out what bit goes where.
It's good. Anyway, so that's Relic Knights. We're very enthusiastic, as you can tell. It's new and shiny.
It's new and shiny, and it's pretty funky.
Well, quite. Should we move on to something then that, well, you'd previously have been more enthusiastic about, and you might still be enthusiastic about it now. The new Dr. Arcadius theme.
Oh, give me Goraxes!
He's ruined it all already. Look at that. He can't do anything. Yeah. There's no build-up, is there, for Nick? There's no build-up. There's no rank amateur there. Look, Nicholas. Jesus Christ.
I'm out of practice. What can you say? I just
Nick.
excited to play my load.
15 minutes while the rehypnol takes effect.
It's just getting weird now.
I think he wants
So
to
yes,
sleep, Nick.
in the latest No Quarter, there is a new theme force for Dr.
It's not even out
Arcadius.
yet, is it? Is it actually out? No
Yes,
quarter.
it's out. Yes,
I know the
it's out.
digital version's out.
It's out to early subscribers as of the time of recording.
Oh.
Regular releases, I believe, next week.
So we won't be out by then, so yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
It'll be in the UK in a month. That's fine.
Not to kind of go too deep into it, but you can have Goraxes in Minions now.
And they come with their own
Yay.
special card.
Yes, they do. So primaled
Warhog!
Warhogs, yes.
That you can then,
With your
that you
aggression
can then
style.
see. Yeah.
Forced Evo as well.
Utter bonkersness.
I know.
So what do you think about the theme force as a whole, or haven't you gone through it kind of...
I have.
Oh, you have.
I'm looking at all of it now.
Yes. So you can have Pharaoh non-character war beasts,
Yep.
Pharaoh bone grinders, Pharaoh slaughterhouses, and Targ.
Yep. So the only thing you can't have at the moment is brigands.
Pretty much.
Which
Pretty
is probably
much.
what I'm playing anyway.
I like them. I found they've got more of a place than you think, but I don't really
In
miss them.
Arcadia?
No, you can't have the gun. Yeah?
What gun? Oh, no, you
Gumball.
can't have the rubbish. No. You can't have that piece of... Yeah. Oh dear.
You might want it one day.
I'm one, yeah, because, stuff. But, No.
And tier 1 is you can include Goraxes.
and they gain...
Shield guard.
Yeah.
Which Goraxes weren't good enough as they were.
I'm not quite sure how that works, but okay. And then if you include Targ, and no reason why not to, your deployment zone moves forward. I suppose kind of to replace the whole advanced deploy thing you'd normally get for Pharaoh.
Kinda. Yeah.
5 or more war beasts, and you start getting free razor boars for each one of certain of the beasts.
And, well, yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good enough.
And at tier 4, your war beasts can run for free on the first turn of the game, so long as you include 2 or more Goraxes.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I want a
That's a bit-
Gorax to paint like a Lorax.
What's a Lorax? Oh, God.
Nice.
You
I
know
want a
how
Gorax to
children
paint
in
like a Lorax.
I will do it one day.
You're just going to do an entire Dr. Seuss themed circle army.
All I can see is as a Gorax with its upper left thigh painted immaculately, really nicely blended in orange,
Hey, I've got a fully painted Gorax I'll have you know.
and left like that for months.
Quite. Yeah.
Has Alex's painting not improved then?
Yeah, it's got very good. It's awesome.
No, not his painting. He's painting timescales.
What's painting?
Exactly.
What's
I
time?
did actually paint some of a Celestial Fulcrum the other day, actually.
Some
So,
one of the standing guys, didn't you? One of the guys that floats.
no, I've got two of them part painted on the base.
Shock.
Yeah.
You're
Going around
painting it
painting.
day of release.
Yeah, shush. Less jibber jabber.
He's actually getting quieter the more he gets laid into.
Oh, I don't know. I'm tired.
I'm tired. You're all having a go at me. It's not fair.
No one likes me. No one loves me.
Nick's come back and ruined everything.
Yeah, Nick's normally the one that takes the flack off me.
Yeah, novelty will wear off. He comes back a second time. He can have it, but novelty's there.
Well, if we start recording regularly on Wednesdays, then Nick can come back and he can be the target of abuse.
But to be honest, we're all excited about. Well, we are all. You're not very excited, Alex, but Nick is excited about Relic Knights, so hence why.
Excited if we could use our Relic Knights. That's all.
Mike's caught in the crossfire, but it's revenge for how long it took Alex to pay me for them in the first place.
I am looking forward to getting my Relic Knights. However, I'm not getting too excited at this stage because I obviously don't have them and won't have them for some time. So it would be remiss of me to get too excited.
It's okay, everyone will be done and moved on to the next game by the time you get
Yeah,
there.
pretty much.
It's the thought that at some point those Relic Knights are basically going to pass his house their way to Basingstoke with me from Scotland.
Hey, call in if you want.
I'm not the one driving the car.
Okay.
Depends on what time they want to get back for. So, because we have a weekend of an anime convention to go to first. So
Anime convention in Scotland, the last
yes,
one. Well, last one we're running anyway.
Okinawa.
Oh, an hour. It's too far.
Yeah, too far, Con. As it has always been called. Anyway, I feel we've kind of gone off the theme of this theme force.
Theme, yes.
It's lots of pigs and they wreck things.
Tier list. God.
Yes,
Theme
quite.
list.
So, Kurt, when are you planning to run this?
When I buy a second Gorax.
I'm painted
I
like
want-
a Morax.
I won a Gorax down in the Games and Gears Con, so I've got one.
Oh, very nice.
I might have another one somewhere, actually, already. I have to check my circle box. I don't know what's in it. And
I do feel we need a little bit of report off you from Games and Gears Con.
No, we don't.
Okay.
there was a lot of Magic the Gathering there,
Awesome. Why wasn't I there?
because it's a long way from Scotland.
Oh, okay.
It was in Gatwick, or near Gatwick.
Yeah.
I
Well,
would
I
have
suppose I
been
could fly
there,
down.
but it ended up being the exact weekend I had to move. So,
I enjoyed it. It was good. War Machine turnout was minimal, but it was fun. I played something like 16 games of War Machine in 3 days. It was obscene.
so that's basically your next year's worth of War Machine taken care of in one day.
I think it was more than that, actually, because it was 9 just on the Saturday.
Ooh, 9
Four-
rounds in a day. Ouch.
There was four games I played during the day because we played just playing scrambles, and then the evening we played pentathlon. So that didn't start.
Oh, the pentathlon lives.
Yeah, we played pentathlon in the evening. It was awesome. So I was playing. So briefly of the pentathlon, because the pentathlon is amazing. There is a middle round which is mystery. So the first round was like a narrow bridge that you couldn't step off the side of, and the aim of the game was to get as much of your army in the opponent's deployment zone as possible, and
What
that was
bridge
it.
was that? What bridge was that?
Like a 10-inch wide strip down the middle of the table.
So basically all random, all mid, Nick, if we want to talk about it in your terms.
ARAM. ARAM. Alright, cool.
And yeah, I had gone to my room in the break we had in between, and decided to just lie down for a moment.
And he fell asleep. And missed
Fell
the rest
asleep
of
for like 45 minutes. So then I stumbled back downstairs, barely awake, and only when we got to the end of the game did I realise what the aim of the round was, and probably I'd lost. Then we played all against all, 4 to a table. This is 25 points, Mangle Metal, Tooth and Claw, by the way. And I was playing Calandra's elemental theme list with 5 Light Wall Beasts. Go Calandra.
Captain Planet.
Yeah, and then I thought I was doing reasonably well in that game until I was the first person to die out of the entire room.
I
All
don't-
3 or 4 tables.
I don't blame them for teaming up on you.
They didn't. They didn't. John Pickles was just he was merciless with the score, and he was actually just trying to get out of the game because he wanted to go to rest because he was just playing as the bar. He just tried to make up the numbers so we could fall to a table, and really wasn't into it. And he just ripped me to bits. I thought I was doing rather well. I nearly assassinated Morgul, and then promptly he removed me from the table. I was like, what? Nearly lightning arcing into Morgul, blah 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 blah. Oh, I'm dead. So I was like, right, I've got 2 free drinks at the bar. I'm going to go and get both right now and come down and sit down and just drink cider in front of all of you. So I did that. Then we had the always mysterious 3rd round, big question mark. What's the 3rd round going to be? And Chris kept it secret, and I came in and was like, right. I was looking at everybody else was playing while I was drinking, looking at whatever he's listing, and I noticed that one of the guys was playing Butcher 3. And I was like, I want to play against him, please, in the next round. I want to play Calandra against Butcher 3, which obviously sounds lunacy, until you understand that round 3 of the pentathlon traditionally has been swap your casters.
Yeah.
Did you get him? Did you get the Butcher player?
I
So you
did.
had to play as Butcher into Calandra
I
for
know.
your sins.
Yeah, Butcher with 5 light warbeasts versus Calandra trying to run 2 slow heavy jacks.
Did you get the dogs as well?
Yes.
Oh.
Bent as hell. I was apologising like I was to Slayer Nige last time we played it. I even
The thought of Butcher 3 with Fury rather than Focus is just no.
we even actually got talked through the assassination because I just won on points because I came up to his. It was 2 flags and I can't remember what it's called. What if offset flags? A very old scenario, one of the earliest.
Close quarters?
Yes, sorry, wouldn't come to mind. I just kept charging up the table with my beast, surrounded it, got Butcher there very quickly because Butcher hauls ass, and got there, dominated it twice, went, right, all I have to do now is leave a war beast there and go for assassination. And he actually helped me talk through how to assassinate from miles out with Butcher. It was great. So that was it.
That's just offensive.
And it was all good fun. It was really good evening. I didn't finish until midnight. Was it 10 to midnight? I think we finished. There was a hall that was supposed to be half War Machine, half Magic, and it was almost all Magic. They had like 400 Magic players.
Doesn't
For a
surprise
first
me.
year,
Magic
for
has
a
picked up a lot
Sorry?
lately. Magic's picked up a lot lately. Like Magic is big up here as well now.
considering it was first year of a con, it went pretty well. Filled the hotel ran out of rooms.
400 Magic players and how many War Machine players?
Dozen.
Oh, so about 450 players.
I think they maybe advertised where they knew they could get the players to come.
So I think there was just a general lack of awareness and perception of how much you need to plug these things early on. So dates have been discussed for next year. I've had discussions with various people about dates for next year. It's something I want to talk to Mike about at some point as well, about what I can push, where I can push Sam into when we can have the dates. And I may have put my hand up to try and coordinate the wargaming elements of it because nobody really did it this year. And I think it could be an awesome con. It was a 4/5 star. It was billed as a 4-star. That's bordering on a 5-star hotel for £49 a night. It was lovely. It was a complete contrast to the expo, which has cost a fortune, and I was nothing but disappointed. The hotel, at least. I mean, so I think it has potential.
Thank you for that clarification, Kurt. It saves my ego.
Yeah, do you like it? It's good. I enjoyed the gaming at the expo. I have since bought Battle Sheep, by the way. I own Battle Sheep.
It's amazing.
It's a fantastic game. I bought it.
Nice has been talking about that a lot recently. I'm kind of interested in it.
It's not a complicated game. It's just fantastic. Alex was so drunk when he played it.
Oh man, out my face.
Yeah, you were.
I don't know how it copes.
I don't know. Kids love it. It's great. I've been trying to buy it since May, whenever it was. Yeah, it was good. I think I'm aiming to have more, trying to push to see if I can get the venue tied down soon, which I think Sam's going to. I've realised that I now know quite well the UK lead for Infinity, so I'm going to have a bit of a go at that. See if we can get Infinity there. See if we can get. I've got an email address for Spartan. See if we can get a bit of Spartan there. They seem to be keen on doing that kind of thing. a bit
Now,
apparently weird.
when you say you got the address, do you mean you looked at your window and went, "Oh, there they are"?
Well, I did used to write to Neil, but I doubt he knows who I am now. But I've got like the Vanguard coordinator, like their play coordinator address that I've got to write to them. And what else was I going to say? And apparently Weird have already been approached and are keen. So it'd be good to be a more multi-system con, which would be fun, I think. Lots of games.
When I was asked to help with that, it was meant to be a sort of very much a multi-system, multi-format event. So.
I think he struggles with time. Sam struggles with time, but he also struggles with managing expectations, as we said before. So I think that's kind of. I've gradually put my hand up from sort of Saturday night onwards until we got to the end of Sunday, and I'm like, oh, feck, I seem to be volunteering for this.
You've walked into the bear pit, so.
I think with SmogCon going to a single game con being just Privateer Press now, and what you would foresee probably for the near future, at least just being Privateer Press, I think it has opened up the room for Games and Gears Con to be more and to expand more, because there are other gamers that who play Privateer Press but also play other games and want that experience of being able to go to a con and play more than just one game. So I mean, I hope they can both survive and both flourish, and it's good that they're at different ends of the year as well. One very early in the year, one kind of midway through the year, so they're quite well spaced out as well. I think it's if it stays around that August time, I don't know. We'll see what sort of time they're looking at. Kurt, it seems like you're more.
It's that kind of that's the kind of timing. Although it depends who you speak to about what people's opinions are, because I've already heard objections about that kind of time. But I think compared to when the other big events are, where the ones that we know about now, it's fairly well placed. I don't know.
The problem, as I've said, is always whatever time of year you pick, there'll be someone who can't come and will voice their opinions loudly. So you're best off just picking a day and going, that's when it is, deal with it.
Yeah. And talking about it a lot and telling people about it. So that's the plan, is to engage with as many kind of different wargaming type people as we want. Apparently I know someone who has Fantasy Flight contacts, so I need to push that as well. Because I think X-Wing would be awesome as well.
Yeah, Netrunner there.
Well, if Fantasy Flight are there,
I've heard of that. I don't really understand
brings
that.
along Game of Thrones, Netrunner.
Is there much Game of Thrones scene in this country?
There is up here.
There's a pretty decent Game of Thrones scene. A lot of it based sort of Stoke kind of way.
Oh, okay.
Nobody lives there.
Fair enough.
He doesn't listen to this anyway.
Yeah.
And
Probably
he lives,
Fantasy Flight is always stock levels anyway.
And he lives in Newcastle under Lyme anyway.
Complain at them about that.
He lives in Newcastle under Lyme anyway, apparently, not Stoke.
Fair enough.
Yes, so I enjoyed it. I had a really good weekend. It was inexpensive and fun.
What more could you want from a dirty weekend?
I know. Hookers, but
Okay.
What,
Well, should we just take a quick break, I think?
until next week when we record? Yeah, sounds good.
Well, I was thinking more a quick break and then come back and discuss. Yeah, we could discuss the hobby tale, but it would largely be, what have you done, Kurt? Well, I stuck together Relic Knights.
Relic Knights.
What have you done, Nick? Oh, I've looked at my Relic Knights. Oh, that's nice.
I stuck them together.
Alex, what have you done? I picked up a paintbrush and then I put it down again.
Yeah, I've got an airbrush in my hand at the moment.
I could
I
do
did
it.
find one of the ones in Lidl the other day. They're doing airbrushes for 50 quid at the moment.
Are they?
In Lidl.
In Lidl?
Yeah.
I got
I
one.
may have to go and have a look at those.
Compressor and airbrush. I picked one up and
50
it
quid.
was-
Yeah, I'll find out where the nearest Lidl is and go.
Are they any good?
It is I would say very much an entry level package. It
So
is
perfect for someone like me.
Yeah, I mean, if the airbrush, I mean, the biggest kind of downfall with it, I think, is the airbrush itself is just a siphon fed. So one of the little jars that go underneath, very little adjustability, single action. It just kind of sprays a large cone. So I think if you're going to buy it with the standard airbrush in there, realistically, the only use for it is going to be base coating. But if you were to pick yourself up a relatively reasonably priced dual action airbrush from eBay or other well-established internet auction sites.
Well, the compressor is generally the most
Expensive bit.
expensive part, isn't it?
It is, and even the compressor itself is very basic. It is kind of an on-off. It runs when you are using the airbrush. It's not one of these that kind of fills up a tank. It just runs as you use the airbrush. I've not done too much kind of extensive work with it, so I don't know kind of how long it would run for before it would potentially cut out or overheat. I believe the maximum operating pressure is 35 psi, which is from looking around quite roughly where you want it to be operating at anyway. I mean, a lot of more expensive compressors will have, quite a lot of adjustability in regards to the PSI and cutouts and things like that. So it's, and it's all right. It's I think for basic entry level airbrush, it's all you need really.
Excellent.
Well, there you go.
Should
So a
definitely
bit of a public service announcement there.
I'm quite tempted. I
Oh,
don't know.
by
I've
the
always
time
been-
anyone listens to this, it'll be out of stock. It's fine.
Probably. There were only 2 left in Lidl when I saw it the other day, so.
Yeah,
But then
quick.
again, your local Lidl may vary.
Yes.
You may have no war gamers near you, and therefore none will be gone.
Back here.
Well,
No, there's Wargamers. They're just the wrong games.
Wow, what
Not
games are
better.
playing where you are?
Games Workshop games mostly. A bit of Bushido love, and that's about it. Lots of historical as well, actually.
There's
Not
we
my
always
never
cup
did
of
find that fabled War Machine Club.
I've been there, and they don't really play War Machine, so
Oh.
they just talk about how shit GW are.
they will play War Machine if requested to, but they will not enjoy it.
Do not enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm doing this too lad because I want.
Wow.
Alex has now
Alex-
turned into the static monster.
Alex is
The
electrifying.
impression was, I think it added weight to the impression.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Whatever his impression of, I'm not sure what his
Still
impression.
bad.
Yes.
Well, anyway, as we're doing the kind of the hobby table and roundup section, unless everyone else has any more ideas for topics, I actually finally got some time to paint a new model.
But you moved house.
Yes.
He's got these awesome cabinets now. He needs something to put into them.
Captain
Actually,
cabinets,
the
trapped
entire
in.
top shelf of my glass case is painted.
You
Why'd you
talked
do
about
that? Now you
Captain
can't see into
cabinets.
it.
Pardon?
I said, what
I
did you
said-
do that for? Now you can't see into it.
Yeah.
So what did you paint, Mike?
I painted Harlan Versch because he'd been
Oh,
sitting in a mostly undercoated state for about
Did
a
you,
year
not
and
have,
a half.
did you not have a painted Harlan Versch?
No,
I don't know who would
Did
do
I
that
have
to
a
me.
painted Harlan Versch?
I don't know. I had a Harlan
Alex, I don't
Versch.
know who did that either. It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
He'd been undercoated, and I'd done some of the coat brown. But that was I kind of got bored halfway through and went, I can't bother painting this. And finally went back and.
Well, that's
Anything
Nick's
else?
version of painted, isn't it?
Pardon?
It is.
That's Nick's version of painted, isn't it?
It is. It's kept Brian's version of painting as well, to be honest. Painted brown, leave it.
Careful,
heard
you got
that-
very touchy when I talked about those trolls.
I
heard
believe Kev's version of painting stuff is paint it blue, dip it, done.
I heard that Norbert's going down that road as well now.
So-
Except Norbert applies some extra paint before the dip.
I don't think every model in War Machine is supposed to look like a clown.
I remember
Kev's
I remember a certain
comics
person
were
who's
fine.
recording this podcast at the moment once painted a Seamus from Malifaux and posted a picture of a pre-dip.
We don't talk about that. Oh,
Seamus.
So you take Ronald McDonald and you paint it so it looks like that, and then you dip it and it just becomes amazing.
You dip it, and it looks like a shitty version of that.
He's gonna get really upset. Good.
To be fair, I have kind of abandoned dipping now, given that
It's shit.
It didn't make your morning this morning, Alex.
given that it's meant to protect the models, and I have found that a lot of my so-called varnished models are chipping
Oh,
quite
they all do.
readily.
They all do.
No, but these are chipping far more than a lot of my other models do.
It didn't make your morning this morning, Alex, giving you the opportunity to have a go at Kev Ryan.
Oh yes. Yes, it was very
Glad to
good.
have lightened your day.
Oh dear.
He was giving me advice on eating porridge, and I was like, "There's no way that can go unanswered."
No. Just shove it in your mouth.
Just shove it in your mouth. That's what works for you, Kev. That's all good.
I think then at this point we might as well wrap up
Oh,
because
we're
we
just
can't
getting
go
going.
anywhere from there.
It's not Christmas.
Yeah, but I'm already buying. I've been for months.
All right. Bet you
Ugh.
off then.
You're that person who buys Christmas presents at the January sale, aren't you?
Not yet, but it's a matter of time.
Yeah.
I am telling to my mum. I haven't quite got there yet.
Surgery's next week.
Yeah, the blonde hair, the bleach and blonde hair and stuff. Yeah, yes, absolutely.
We always wondered why you hung around hospitals so much.
I was this morning, it's true.
What are we doing in Minehead?
And this one, we've got a hospital there.
Shockingly, the health service is everywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Not
Right.
for much longer.
Apparently we're going to have our own. So.
I think at this point we should have Alex sign us off.
You've been listening to the Cadre, the Horde and War Machine podcast that isn't anymore.
I talked about Harlan Verge. What more do you want?
The Relic Knights and X-Wing podcast.
Oh man, X-Wing is so good too. There's actually an X-Wing
Yes.
scene up here.
Yes,
Makes
Nick,
me happy.
I know. I'm well versed on just how good the X-Wing is.
I think we should dedicate at least one episode to the new big Imperial ship at some point. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
Good.
Kurt, when are Rebel Aces out? Like,
They're out, are they?
did they come out and they just didn't appear on the shelves up here? That's probably true, actually.
I haven't seen them.
Anyway. Oh, actually, no. Speaking of other things we're buying soon, I've got a copy of Space Hulk reserved for me. So,
Oh, I'm tempted. I'm so very tempted.
Mike, have you got sick while I've been gone?
no.
It's a big project though to take all those Blood Angels and turn them into Black Templar.
I used to play Blood Angels anyway.
Is there a
Anyway,
new version of Space Hulk?
Yeah, it's re-released.
Well, it's
it just
a
straight
re-release with a
re-release?
few additional scenarios, I believe.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
that's pretty cool.
Anyway, I've been Mike.
I've been Alex.
I've been Kurt.
And I'll always be Nick.
Say goodbye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
Does this mean I'm kicked off the podcast?
DQ'd for setting up first.
Oh dear. So there we go. There's a podcast. How do you feel about that, Nick? Are you good? Are you feeling,
Yeah, I'll come back in a year. It's fine.
Annual presents like it.
But yeah, I
Nick
was
getting us presents every year.
Apparently so. That's what we said.
looking at the Titan Games page, sort of at the end
Yeah.
of work, and I noticed they said, "Oh, we've over-ordered on Space Hulk by 5 copies," and I was like, "How much? $67.50. Done.
That's a lot, but for Space Hulk, I guess it's not.
I'll be by to pick it up on Friday." They're like, "We can't sell it on Friday. I'll be by to pick it up on Monday."
Fair enough.
Where's
no,
Is that in Basingstoke?
No, Starbridge.
Oh, right.
But because I'm going back home, kind of.
Well, that's what I thought you meant. I thought you were talking about the shop that you used to go to up there, and I was like, oh, is that? Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
no, basically because I'm on Thursday. I'm driving from here to Bloxwich, staying there overnight, and then going the rest of the way to.
what
National
are you
Masters
going
on
home
Friday.
for? What are you going home for?
Because it's about halfway between here and Bleed and
He's going
Stop.
home for a cup of tea.
Oh, because you're going to National Masters. I see.
Yes.
What are you doing that for?
Well, surprisingly, because they give me stuff.
I'm sadly not going to National Masters.
No,
Don't you
man.
live just down the road? Okay. Alex.
Yeah,
Like, what's your excuse?
daughter's birthday.
Oh,
Also, for National Masters, I'm allegedly providing tech support. So
so like your old job.
Good luck to them.
silence, really just silence.
Good luck to them then. Fantastic.
What? It's like your old job.
Had to do my first regression test today.
How is the new job?
It's good. It's extremely challenging. Like trying to fit 5 pints of knowledge in a 2-pint pot.
Are we still on the
What
air?
I'm saying is you are
We are
not.
still broadcasting, but this is not going to be part of the main show.
No, but we're still broadcasting as well. We're going to see anything else.
Don't say fuck or bugger.
No, say fuck or bugger.
So,
Go live on Channel Chom. Please do not swear.
oh god. Now, my first 2 days was spent putting all my equipment in one of the racks, and then
Equipment
being
in quotes.
told,
That's-
"Oh, the power supply won't fit in the rack as it is, so you have to take all of that out and move the rack rails 2 spaces back."
Welcome to reality. That's just the real world, that is. Have you never had that before?
I'd like to
No,
say
we
that
could- we'd have to
everything
put
that Mike
things
just
in
said
the
made
Dell
complete
kit.
sense to me.
Did it?
Alex,
So-
you should build a computer at some point.
Really, no. No.
Sure.
There follows,
You
there
really want to
follows
let
now
him
a
near a
complaint from
computer
Alex
being
about the
built.
computer he's got.
What's that, sorry? I heard about 3 people talking at once.
It's our podcast, it's our style. Here follows now usually a complaint from Alex about the computer that he's now using.
No complaints. No complaints, no whatsoever. It's working A-OK.
Cool.
Lies.
Had a slight issue with my monitor.
Oh, there we go.
Is this a joke?
No, I decided to spill water all over it and it doesn't work anymore.
Kind of a joke, but not very funny.
Not very funny.
You released the magic smoke.
If anybody wants to set me a new monitor, I'd be more than happy to receive it. 27 inches minimum, please.
No, I've got 19. I haven't got 27 there.
At work, I have 2 very nice 24-inch widescreen Dell ones.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Still want to give it to me.
I've got a 24-inch down in front of me here, an old one, which is quite nice, and I've got a 19 literally sat in the loft. So a 19, I can do you,
Well, maybe.
but I can't get it to you.
No.
So I'll
Well,
have to
maybe
wait
do a
2
smart
months
connection
until he's in
then.
the area.
Yeah. Maybe do a SmogCon exchange. Are you going to SmogCon, Kurt? You
Working.
of course you are.
I am working. Oh, and I do want to talk to you about press ganging.
Me or Mike?
You,
Oh.
because you talked to me before about beginning press ganger, and after we finished a recording a while ago, and I have a Legion box set that is well on the way for being painted, but I got distracted by something else. Can't remember what it's called.
Relic Knights.
And the club have said yes, they would like me to be their press ganger. So might not do fuck all with it, but actually means I could get paid for SmogCon.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the first thing you can do is actually go to the Privateer Press site, go to the volunteers section, and fill in the application.
Okay.
Do I need to do that as well, Mike?
Anyway, yes, fill in the application there. That starts off the process. If you include Alex as your reference, then that gets it started, and then he can poke Bob at some point and go, "Bob, can Kurt be a PG?"
He's very tall.
He's quite loud, but slightly friendly.
That's pretty accurate. I quite like that. I would put that on my CV.
Quite loud but slightly friendly. Very nice.
Anyway, I'm going to be off now as I have to make sandwiches for work.
I've done one already.
All of work? You're making sandwiches for all of work?
No, just for me.
Okay.
I don't mind, just for me and 2 children.
Okay.
So, right. Thank you, loyal listener, for listening in, whoever you
Adam.
are.
It's Adam is who it is, usually.
Adam.
It's Adam.
Right, and I'll see you all again in a couple of weeks for
Round 2.
Bye.
ta-ta.
Bye.